either sleeping good or waking up, getting ready to be productive. I wanted to come talk to you this morning. I'm actually just grabbing some coffee, and I was up thinking about standing on your word, swearing to your own hurt and change and not. And nobody like to stand on their word these days. It's like as soon as something come across where it can make you switch things up, they'll switch things up. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna do it Saturday, but I got this bill. I got to go do this, or oh, this what you call. It's always something, bro. It's always something. It blows my mind because it shows a lot of people don't really have integrity. They say they have integrity, but they don't really show it with actions. I was watching something last night, and that's something that they said. Actions always speak louder than words do, and I say that a lot because it's the truth. I'm not big on physical love, like words like saying, "Oh, I love you" all the time. But I'm gonna show you all the time. You know what I mean? I have two girls that I'm not really a lovey-dovey type person when it comes to all hugged up. I'm not really like that, but I still love my babies. And I got two girls that they might think that, man, daddy hard, but I love them, but it's different. I don't, I don't love like probably like they would want me to, but everybody is different though. You see what I'm saying? But I stand on my word. If I say I'm gonna die for them and I'm gonna prepare a way for them, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I just realized that 10 years damaged a part of my life that I'm now faced at the point where I see I probably never get back. It is what it is. Like the more I think about it, it's just like certain things you have to accept and just move on and grow from and just be realistic with yourself. And I'm realistic with myself now that my drive is strong, but I know I lack in certain areas and I have to face what it is. But I can stand on my word and say, hey, this is who I am. I might don't tell you I love you all the time, but I'm gonna stand for you and I'm gonna fight with you through this war, through this battle. I'm not gonna leave you in the field alone. If I say I'm with you, I'm with you. You know what I mean? And that's all I can do, because in there, being incarcerated that long, like literally everything was about being a man on your word, standing on your word, being loyal, being faithful, not going for BS. If BS approach you, you instantly have to nip it in the bud. I know you probably heard that before. It's a southern term. You got to nip that in the bud quick, and that's why I can. Someone can actually look at me and say, "Oh man, he's aggressive when it comes to this." Certain things I'm aggressive on, like literally, like I don't play it. Like soon as you come across, you need to handle that. You need to fix that. You know what I mean? That's just me. I was raised in that environment though, and it's certain things that, regardless, you want to cut off. You know how you'll leave for doing something for so long, and you think that you're just gonna, okay, I'm gonna cut this button off and switch this on, and I ain't gonna worry about this no more. But after you do that much time, you're gonna always have some mental issues that you're gonna have to, some hurdles you're gonna have to go over, and some things you're gonna have to talk to yourself about because people out here don't look at loyalty like the way people from prison that who did anything. Anybody did 5 years or more have did time. That's like you did some time. A year or so, I get it, that's time too. But once you go so long, and that it's something about that 5 year mark and more, man, it just it's it can be detrimental to a person's mental health for sure. But I didn't really understand that though. You know what I mean? Like I understand that I had to take away some empathy out my heart, some sympathy away, and become a real gorilla in there. And even though I got love for my fellow man, but I had to be instant in season and out of season when dealing with that environment I was in. And after you get out for doing all that, man, you can't just cut it off. You think you can. You might can drown it some in women, and I did that too. Getting out after all that time and finally being divorced, I had my chance to spread my royal oats, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I've been there. I get it. That's why I don't knock the youngsters because I understand. Hey, man, everybody got a season. And I just feel like it's wise once we get to our season, we can wake up and start progressing and start growing. But you can blow off a little money or do this or do that. Man, that's common from people who don't know no better. You know what I mean? And or you growing and never had nothing. You say, you know what, I want to get this. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But we got to learn how to stand on our word though. Like if I give you my word and say, hey, I'm gonna be here at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna be here at 15 minutes till 6 o'clock waiting on you. Get my mind together so that way we can go and do what we gotta do. That's just me. And I think that that principle, man, has got lost somehow when people just truly keeping their words. Like it's like something can come up and they'll literally change everything they talk to you about because this came up, I can't do it. If it wasn't no life situation, everybody know people get hurt, go to doctors, some serious stuff. If it's not seriously where you got to miss it, you need to put off whatever you decided to do before you gave them your word. Like, nah, I gave them my word. I got to stand on this. Anything after that, then that's fine. But right now, I got to keep my word. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, you're going to lose money sometimes. You might, stand on your word with somebody and on a situation, you like, man, I should have went a different route. But remember, your word is everything, especially coming from a rural environment, being a black native African American, coming from where we from, our word mean a lot, man, and it's going to change things in your mind once you deal with people. And some people you'll realize that don't deserve you to keep your word with them, but you deserve to keep your word with yourself. Some people you mess with, like, man, they think I'm not. If I knew it was so and so, well, hey, man, if you gave your word on it, gonna do it. And it's like pouring coals of hot coals on their head when you bless them and you stand on your word, even though in your heart they wouldn't have did the same. As soon as it got hot, they'd have folded on you. But you can't do that, man. If it's in you, you see what I'm saying? If it's in you to be a thousand, be a thousand, man. Don't let no one else detour you from being who you are, from being real, from being solid, from being one of God's leaders. Don't let nobody detour you. If it's in you, let it be in you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I realize now, like what I do and what I'm trying to do, like it's in me to hustle over grounded obstacles naturally. It's in me to get my hog on. That's why I get my hog on, because it's in me. Like it's not just a saying, it's not just a logo, even though it's all of those things, but it's a movement. It shows actions. We got to do something to put ourselves in a better position. And we have to stand on our word, man. If we give someone our word, we got to swear to our hurt and change not. And I just think that's valuable because don't nobody keep their word now. Everybody is faulty. Something come up or something happen, they'll switch it up on you in a minute. Oh man, so and so came, I had to do this. And you like, damn, and I had been left with the ball a few times. I had a few people I was gonna network with, thought I was gonna network with, didn't want to network with me. Then when you can tell they doing bad and they need a little money, they'll reach out to you. Hey man, I'm gonna network with you now. I'm like, damn, you hungry now. You need me now. You know what I mean? But if I really need the help, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because I need it anyway. But I know the only reason I got them over here right now because he hungry. It is what it is. Sometimes you just have to level the playing field, but to understand that people are that way, family. People are that way. Everybody ain't gonna be 1,000, man, even though you be 1,000. But don't let them being faulty turn you into being faulty. It don't work like that. You got to be you regardless. All you got to do is cut them off. Once you see they on some BS, cut them off, man. You know what I mean? Because one thing for sure, if they scheming and plotting and all that stuff, they going to be doing that regardless. You still going to be able to do your thing. You know what I mean? So don't let nothing like that discourage you. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be you. And I think that it's very important that we stand on our word today. Like, I'm only saying that because I have reached people that I thought was 1,000, gave, my percentages up front, and they still didn't show up. You're like, dang. But we have to be a man of our own word. So that bothers me, man, sometimes when you try to be a man of your word, you try to keep things, you try to keep stuff going, and then nobody shows that same loyalty, that same respect. But we still have to keep our own word. So me personally, I try to watch how I get my word and what I agree to and who I agree to it with, because sometimes people only gonna call you when they really need you. You reach out to them, and they like, and then when they really, really, really get in the bag, they want you to change up. And I know you're not the only one in the witness. I'm not the only one to witness this. when they get in the bind, they want you to change everything up you got going on to help them in that situation because they in a situation. But what about when you was in a situation? You couldn't get nobody to stand on that word when y'all agreed to meet at a certain time or a certain day and knock out a project or whatever. You like, you left me hanging, but now you really, really need me. That's life, family. But everybody isn't like that. We just have to find our own kind. We have to be really to find people that love what they doing like we love what we doing. People that want to network with us without you trying to go kiss their ass. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. You know what I mean? I had a homeboy I grew up with. He actually got married over last weekend, and I was at mom's house working on that. And the only reason I didn't go because I had already made a dedication to do what I had to do at my mom's house. And if I'd have went up there, I'd have got to drinking and chilling and talking and socializing, and I wouldn't have got a chance to accomplish what I came to Arkansas for. I drove all of that distance, went through all of that. I had to accomplish what was on my mind. Now, after that was over with, then yeah, I could mingle. But right now, it's business. We gotta take care of this business first. If I gotta sleep in my truck, whatever, we finna take care of this business, and that's what I'm on. I'm just about actions, man, trying to make things happen. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, it get discouraging, man, because you'll keep your word and you'll be willing to go the full nine with someone else and realize they won't do that for you. You know what I mean? But don't change who you are because you realize a couple people that you thought was 1,000, 100, they are not. Don't let that change who you are. So just stand on your word. I wanted to say that this morning. I'm up thinking, got a few things to do on my way to Atlanta this morning. I'm about to go back and get dressed and get myself together so I can do that. And I got a couple things I got to do today, but I just wanted to talk to you about that because I don't think, I think when times get hard, people instantly change things up and change what they said and, don't stand on that word or come up with some type of excuse, man. Man, I'm just saying, sometimes it gets frustrated, family. You know what I mean? It gets frustrated not to have someone, walking with you that actually want to put some money in the pot too. They just ain't trying to look at every time you put some money in the pot, how they can take some out. Like, damn, put some in here. We working together, right? You know what I'm saying? It just get real sometime. And here lately, I ain't gonna lie, I've been feeling a little sidetracked, just with dealing with everything, a little overwhelmed, dealing with my mom's house, getting it together, dealing with life, dealing with kids, dealing with not seeing kids, dealing with, people dying, dealing with health, wealth, all these things, man. Sometimes life can hit you and it makes you just sit down like, dang, whew, you know what I mean? Sometimes it can hit you, man, but I just want to say, man, that for those who are really trying to do something, I'm standing with you. You know what I mean? Because I know that there's going to be many days like this. You'll be by yourself in a work truck. You'll be by yourself doing something. But you was depending on some people who didn't stand up like they say they will. Their words was nice, but their actions was terrible. And we deal with people like this all the time now, man, where their actions are terrible, like terrible. You can't put no faith, no trust in them. You know what I mean? And it makes you a little harder. It makes you a little harder, dealing with certain things. But I'm just not big on people talking, man. I got some people that I notice they talk a good game. Like, hey, bro, you ain't got to tell me who you are. Just show me. Real talk. I ain't got a lot of time. Don't waste the time with the let's just jump in here and make this happen, and then we can talk about, oh yeah, But honestly, we just deal with people who don't keep their word, and just because they don't, I don't think you should determine. You should change who you are, the essence of who you are. Life is what it is, man. We got so much going on. Even the government. This trial with George Floyd. We thought this cop was going to get way more time than what he did, but he didn't. So it just, I don't know, certain things. You look at history, you look at laws, you look at people, and it can get discouraging, family. It is what it is. Things can get discouraging when you think that someone is going to stand on their word, someone is going to treat you fairly. You got to treat you fairly, man. And if they don't, you gonna have to say something about it. If you don't, they can consider you a part of the ground. You know, I told somebody one day, if you don't say nothing when people step on you, they gonna think you the ground. They gonna keep walking until you say, "Hey, oh my bad, oh no, you can't step on me like that." You know, but I think that until we get to that point where we're willing to express that and say how we feel, then people will keep walking on us or keep disrespecting us. So be firm, be a man, a woman of your word, and stand on your word. Stand on people who will stand through the storm with you. You know, sometimes you get caught up wanting your team to look a certain way. It might not look the way you want them to look to be a good team member, to be a loyal team member. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to say that this morning. Didn't want to keep you that long. Just wanted to vent a little bit on standing on your word, man. A lot of times, the people that we deal with don't stand on their words, and we still got to do what we got to do. And in this time and day and age, you know, it's very important that we do what we say we're gonna do. You know, being a man, you know, I think especially a black man, that's all we got is our word. If your word ain't nothing, you ain't nothing. You know what I mean? So I feel like regardless of someone else being fake, you got to be real regardless. So if I gave you my word, I gave you my word, and that means a lot to me. And that's how I continue to get my hog on. Y'all be blessed. Like I say, I'm gonna check in here a little later. Being in Atlanta, got a couple of things going on, so I'll be popping up, you know, giving y'all some footage, showing you what we got going on today. And we're gonna keep getting our hog on, family. We're gonna keep living to be remembered, keep standing on our word, keep doing what we say we're going to do. Hold on.